Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. My name is Colin Snow. I am a member of the global team here at Big Beat. And today, to talk about advertisements, I'm joined by Mr. Katura. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Colin. Nice to join this crosstalk, maybe. My name is Motoaki Katura, and I'm working here in Big B for 15 years. And I'm in charge for outbound business rather than inbound business. But today I want to tell everyone about the OOH today. OOH.
Yeah, advertisements kind of in general in Japan. I know that you mentioned that you do a lot of outbound, so that obviously is going to include advertisements. But today I want to talk a little bit more about the way that advertisements work within Japan, particularly Tokyo, for this situation. In a lot of Western countries, or at least like in the U.S., we're seeing this big shift towards digital advertising, a lot of DOOH, and we're seeing less, like physical advertisements. Obviously they're still there, but as far as getting results, a lot of companies are switching to digital advertisements. But what about Japan? Do you think that those physical advertisements, the OOH, is still viable in Japan?
Yeah, of course. It's same as Europe and US, but it's kind of left behind, just a little bit left behind than the countries like in Europe and United States. The reason is we personally, we meet like physically and personally, and the Japanese way of doing business is like mainly physical. So like 40s, 50s maybe. They tend to like the physical communication. So I think that's the reason why it's kind of left behind from the countries like in US or Europe. But it's available in Japan also, especially for younger people, 20s, 30s.
Especially over the last couple of years with Corona and everything, there's been this big digital shift.
Right, that's the major things. Yeah.
But it is kind of interesting. I talked to my family and stuff back home, and they imagine Japan as this very technologically advanced place with Gundams and stuff everywhere. And then I tell them that it's a little bit different. There's lots of 40s and 50-year-old people that don't even have smartphones. So that's kind of interesting. But so that is one of the reasons why, despite the fact that this digital advertising is becoming more popular, those physical billboards and stuff are still quite useful and viable in Japan. Now, speaking of these advertisements, what do you think are the best places, not only for digital advertising, but also for that physical advertising, that OOH, in Japan?
I think it's kind of a difficult question, but from my experience, for maybe for the audience, if they come to Japan, they can realize that probably in Tokyo, Shinagawa, Shibuya, probably the major station that you can see all those advertising OOH, DOOH. I think these three stations is the very good place for businessmen to see this OOH advertising and the DOOH.
So I know, of course, in Shinagawa there's a lot of businessmen and stuff like that. But you mentioned Shibuya. And just in my personal experience, there's a lot of young people out and about in Shibuya. How do you think Shibuya works for a company that is more B2B focused when it comes to advertisements?
For talking about B2B, if you go out to the Shibuya city, I think it's more preferred for B2C type. So talking about B2B, maybe train advertising is the one option. Maybe another option is on the taxi advertising. And for taxi, for upper end client type, we'll choose taxi to go around the city. So I think the taxi advertising is more focused, is more good for B2B type of client, I think so.
Yeah, you see a lot of C-class level managers and businessmen taking taxis, but what about like the lower level managers?
Well, when you choose the product or you try to reach out to some information, C-class type of client is one of the things that we have to aware of. But the second thing that you mentioned, lower level kind. These people gather up all the information and they propose to their boss or C-class people, this product is very good or bad or anything like that. So you have to choose both type, and you should go to advertise for both type of clients.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. You know, maybe a low or middle class manager would see an advertisement on the train. They'll pass the information up to their boss or their boss's boss. That guy or girl will get into a taxi. They'll see the advertisement. Again, oh, I've heard of this before. And then maybe consider, you know, buying the product, something like that, right?
So it's very important to reach out to the C-class level and lower class manager at the same time, so they all know about your products.
Definitely. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Kind of a two-pronged approach. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you joining us today and for kind of clearing some things up when it comes to advertisements. If anybody at home has any other questions about advertising or anything else that we do, or you just want to ask a couple questions, please feel free to reach out to us on our website. The link will be below at the bottom of the screen.
Right.
Yep. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.